Today we are going to discuss the topic moment of inertia. And one more thing, I am Jack Edusek. I am your new physics lecturer. I am going to teach you the physics from this onwards. And one more thing, in the last actually you have completed center of mass. Okay, in the center of mass, the topics what we completed. Once those are going to recalling now. And center of mass definition already well known was that the point within the boundaries of the body at which the whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. That's the definition already known well. And in this center of mass, the main formula to be remembered are first of all coordinates of center of mass. Whenever the bodies are along one-dimensional coordinate system or whenever the bodies are along a straight line, then the coordinate of center of mass formula is what? Xm equal to m1x1 plus m2x2 plus and so on mnxn by m1 plus m2 plus and so on mn. This is the actually coordinate of x coordinate of center of mass. That's already well familiar to you. This is one of the most important formula playing an important role in solving the problems of center of mass. Okay, as well as YCM also there. Okay, similarly same formula. ZCM also looking like that. This formula are well familiar to you. And whenever two particles are along x-axis, for example here one particle is m1, another particle is m. The first particle it is y-axis, it is x-axis. The first particle is at a distance of x1 from the origin, and the second particle is at the distance of x2 from the origin. At that moment, the center of mass lies within the boundaries of these two system of particles. That means in the midway of these two, the center of mass should lie. Generally, center of mass is nearer to which one? Heavier mass. For example, here m2 if it is greater than m1, center of mass is nearer to m2. This is center of mass. The distance of center of mass from origin is xm. That xm formula from this one only we can write it. That is xm equal to m1x1 plus m2x2 by m1 plus m2. Already you dealt with all these formula and solve the problems. And the next topic of this one is what is the coordinate of center of mass for continuous distributive massive body? Continuous distributive massive body. That formula for xm is integral dm into x by integral dm. This is the formula we are using for finding the coordinate of center of mass for continuous distributive massive body. But this is the formula. Actually, this is also we can write as what? We can write that one as summation mi xi by capital E. Okay. But this summation what I have used is called discrete sum that we are using whenever the particles are separately presented in the system. But whereas if you come to this one, in this case, the mass has to be distributed continuously like in a body. At that moment, we are going to take, actually if you take this as a coordinate system, here first we are going to considering small element of the body of mass dm, okay, at a distance of x. Then you have to mathematically calculate that integral dm into x by integral dm. Then we can get a center of mass coordinate for this system of body. Okay, this is the way of getting the coordinate of center of mass for continuous distributive mass. Okay. Similarly, we can also write YCM as integral dm into y by integral dm. As well as ZCM also we can write it as integral dm into z by integral dm. All these formulae are known well. Just I am going to recall this formula. Okay, to remember. Next, the topic of this chapter is known well was that shift of center of mass. What is that? Shift of center of mass when some mass is added for the system of particles. Similarly, shift of center of mass when some mass is removed. Okay, all the examples and topic you that one, center of mass topic already completed. So that's why I am not going to allow nothing but prolong this discussion on this chapter. Nothing but wasting of your time. So that's why I am going to next topic of this chapter. Okay, dear students, now the topic what I am going to discuss is movement of inertia. Okay. Before understanding the meaning of moment of inertia, first you recall the definition of inertia. What is the definition of inertia? First you see that already known when you studied it in the chapter laws of motion. What is the inertia? Nothing but inability of a body at rest to change its state immediately. Otherwise, also we can define it as the inability of a moving body to change its state immediately. Nothing but see here, whenever a body is at rest, is it able to move by its own? Never. It can't move by its own unless until it is acted upon by some force. It doesn't. Similarly, whenever you consider another body which are in the uniform motion, it is in the uniform motion. Is it going to stop by its own? Never. It can't stop by its own unless it is acted upon by some force. Like that, the bodies are having the property of inability to change their state immediately. That property is called inertia. That inertia we are measuring by a quantity called mass. You know well, for example, here there are two rollers, one is smaller one, another one is bigger one. Which one we can move easily? Obviously, smaller one can move easily. Why? Because due to its small mass, we can move it easily. But whereas if you come to heavier one, you can't move easily. Why? Because it is having more mass. So here it's very clearly you can say that this body is said to be having small inertia and this body is said to be having more inertia. That means inertia is simply we can identify by seeing the by measure the mass of the body. By that only we can define mass is nothing but what? Measurement of inertia. Mass is nothing but what? Measurement of linear inertia. Actually here we are studying about linear motion of the body. Okay, so whenever you want to set up a body into the linear motion, or whenever you want to stop the body whichever in the linear motion, then what needed here? Some force must to be applied on it. That force amount also depends on what? Mass of the body. Okay, if the mass is small, then the body can move easily. If the mass is less, mass is more amount of force is required here. Okay, like that. Mass is the measurement of inertia that already studied that and is familiar with. Same like that. Now moment of inertia. That is the analogous quantity for inertia. That is analogous quantity for inertia in the case of rotational motion. In which motion? Rotational motion. So now present we are in which topic? Rotational motion. So in the case of rotational motion, the analogous quantity for inertia is called what? Moment of inertia. That can be measured by actually rotational inertia. The another name, moment of inertia nothing but measurement of rotational inertia. What is the meaning of this? If you want to rotate a body, it must apply some torque. Okay, any body if you want to rotate, what is needed? Torque is needed. Okay. For example, if you want to rotate a body, small body, actually, for example, here there is a particle which I want to rotate about this axis of rotation. This is called axis of rotation. What is the meaning of axis of rotation? The line about which the body is going to rotate. See here. The particle what I consider here having a mass of m and that it is at the distance of r. torque value, generally it would be small whenever moment of inertia is small. Okay. As like earlier here also I told you F is equal to ma, you know, in the case of linear motion. This F value depends on what here? Mass. This mass is nothing but what? Measurement of inertia, as I told you. But whereas in this case of rotational motion, if you want to rotate a body, generally torque is needed. Okay, the torque is nothing but what? Force into perpendicular distance. So F into R perpendicular. F into R also we can write. Normally F formula what here? Ma into R. What is the acceleration here? Nothing but tangential acceleration. First of all, before understanding the next step, it's must not have idea about linear quantities and rotational quantities. Those we are going to write beside this here. Whereas if you come for linear motion and rotational motion, in the case of linear motion, generally the displacement is denoted with S or X, you know, where it's SI unit also meter. But whereas in the case of rotational motion, that displacement is called angular displacement, that is denoted with theta. Next to this, in the linear motion, the velocity of the body is denoted with V, and whereas in the case of rotational motion, that's denoted with omega. And in the case of linear motion, acceleration denoted with A, and in the case of rotational motion, it is denoted with alpha. What the relation between theta and S? Also, this you can write it as theta equal to S into R. Next, whereas if you come for omega formula what here? V equal to omega into R or omega bar cross R bar actually in vector form. So this is, and whereas if you come for acceleration, that is how can we write it in? This is theta equal to S equal to theta into R and A equal to alpha into R. Like that, the linear quantities we are getting just by multiplying that angular quantities with R. You are saying clearly. S value how did we get? By multiplying this theta with R. How did we get V value? By multiplying omega with R. How did we get this A value? By multiplying with alpha with R. Okay? Same like that, if you come from force, the analogous quantity for that is the torque. How do we get torque value? Tau equal to F into R. Okay, tau equal to what here? F into R. Like that we can get torque value here from this force. So according to that, if you substituted A value here, what we should get? M into A value what here? Alpha R into R. So totally M R square alpha. This mr square nothing but moment of inertia that we are representing with I. So tau equal to I alpha. Finally, this is the equation for torque. It is simply analogous to F equal to ma here. In this case, ma we are writing. But whereas in this case, tau equal to I alpha. In the case of rotational motion, we can write that tau value what? I alpha. What is analogous quantity for mass here? Omega of inertia. And what is analogous quantity for acceleration? Angular acceleration. You are seeing clearly. Anyhow, moment of inertia nothing but here how do we write it? For this particle, moment of inertia will be product of mass and the square of perpendicular distance from axis of rotation. Alright, only axis of rotation nothing but what? The line above which the body is rotating. Okay, around which one the body is rotating, that line is called axis of rotation. But do remember, axis of rotation sometimes it is real and sometimes it is imaginary. For example, if you come to the case of rotation of the earth is spinning, you know. In the case of rotation of the earth, actually it is earth is spinning from west to east, you know well. Why it gets rotating from west to east like this? Is there any line here? Is there any rod which are passing through the center of the earth here? No. So in this case, we are imagining the line here around which the Earth gets rotating. This is the Earth here. It gets rotating from west to east. Okay. At that moment, axis of rotation is said to be what here? Imaginary. But whereas if you come to the case of top, in your childhood you played well with the top, you know. This top is having a nail here. Whenever it gets rotating here, the nail which over here is called axis of rotation. It's really presented here by the here axis of rotation is said to be real. Okay. So that is a small description about axis of rotation. And whereas if you come from rotational motion, in that one, moment of inertia definition what? Measurement of rotational inertia. This is the definition of moment of inertia. But how do we measure the rotational inertia of a rotating particle? Already I told you, here it is the axis of rotation. And nearer to that I consider a small particle of mass m at a distance of small r. For that one, the moment of inertia definition what here? This is product of mass of the particle and square of the distance of the particle. Okay. So this is the moment of inertia, and it is having the unit of kg meter square. What it is? Kg meter square. And what about the CGS unit of this? The CGS unit gram centimeter square. And what is the dimensional formula for this? For mass m, for distance L2. So that is the dimensional formula for moment of inertia. And what about the quantity type? It is belonging to which category of quantities? It belongs to tensor quantity. Mathematics is a tensor quantity. Do remember. What is a tensor? Already you studied well about it in the chapter vectors. I hope that vector chapter is over for you. That's why I am confidently saying that tensor definition well familiar to you. Okay. Anyhow, I am going to revise the definition of this one once as like scalar and vector. A scalar method you know when the quantity which are having only magnitude but no direction is called what? Scalar. And what is the meaning of vector? A vector method, the quantity which are having both magnitude and direction, also obeying laws of addition of vectors. That is called vector. Okay. But whereas if it comes for tensor, it is the third category of quantities. According to this definition, these quantities are going to have different values in different directions. Such kind of quantities are called tensors. So a tensor means what? The quantities which are having different values in different directions. Okay. So that is the definition of tensor. One more example, actually throughout our syllabus of first year, we are having only two quantities as an example for tensor. What are the quantities mean? One is the tensor, another one is the moment of inertia, another one is stress, and one more is moment of inertia. These are only the examples for tensors. Do remember forever. Do remember forever. Okay. Anyhow, this is actually moment of inertia for small particle. Next we are going to see the moment of inertia for system of particles. What we are going to see next? Moment of inertia for system of particles. Okay. So dear students, whenever anybody they ask you what the definition of moment of inertia, then immediately you have to say that is the measurement of rotational inertia. Okay. And its equation for a rotating particle, after I told you, m into r square. What is that? M into r square. But whereas if you come for rotation of a body, see it is the axis of rotation. I am not taking body, the system of particles. See here, a system of particles I am considering. In this one, different particles are presented like this. Like that, n particles are there. The first particle is having mass m1, m2, m3, m4 and m5 for example. Simply I have considered 5 particles only for convenience. Okay, for comfort. The first particle is at the distance of r1, second particle is at the distance of r2, fourth particle is at R4, fifth particle is at R5. Now it gets rotating about this axis. Okay, it is getting rotating like this. Why it is rotating like that? The moment of inertia of the system of particles, how to write it? First particle, what is the moment of inertia? M1 R1 square plus M2 for second particle, M2 R2 square. For third particle, M3 R3 square plus and so on Mn Rn square. How many particles you have? That many number of terms you are getting in the sum. Okay, so that's why I wrote simply as and so on summation Mn Rn square. Summation Mn Rn square. But actually, if this system is said to be having identical particles, that means all particles are identical. At that moment, for identical particles, masses are said to be same, but distance are not need to be same. By that reason, here, if I took m common here, what I get here? R1 square plus R2 square plus and so on Rn square. Okay, this is for system of particles of identical particles. Okay, and here I am going to multiply and dividing with the n here, such that what I shall get Mn into R1 square plus R2 square plus and so on Rn square divided by n. What is m into n here? Total mass of this system of particles, that is capital M. Capital M means total mass of the system. Okay, so we can write it as m into this part of equation, whatever we have, that we can write it as k square, where k is nothing but radius of gyration. Okay, so here I want to write down the k value, especially k value I want to write down. How to write it? See here. By comparing this equation and that equation, k square value what here? R1 square plus R2 square plus and so on Rn square by n. Then k value what here? Put over R1 square plus R2 square plus and so on Rn square by n. Actually, this we can define it as what? RMS value of all the distances of all the particles. That means root of mean of squares, right? So by that, radius of gyration means that is nothing but RMS value of distances of all particles. RMS value of distances of all particles. That is the definition of radius of gyration. See, SI unit is simply meter and the serious unit is centimeter and it is said to be scalar quantity. And this radius of gyration depends on what here? Distances of the particles. Okay, distribution of mass. So k value depends on distribution of mass. Okay, do remember that is the definition of A, and standard equation for I is this one. You have to remember forever this one. What is the standard form of moment of inertia? Mean I equal to mk square, where m is what? Mass of the system of particles, and k mean what here? Radius of gyration. Also we can define it as another definition of this one is distance of center of mass of rotating body from axis of rotation. So like that also we can define distance of center of mass of rotating body from axis of rotation. Also you can define it as what? The effective distance of all the particles of the rotating body. So another definition also we can write as the effective distance of all particles of rotating body. All particles of rotating body moment of inertia and radius of variation. Especially whenever you come to moment of inertia, I value. I depends on what here mean. According to this equation, we can say that I value depending on what mass of the body and k value. K mean what? Effective distance of all the particles from axis of rotation. Okay, that means I depending mainly on position of axis of rotation. Position of axis of rotation. For example, if I consider a ring, it is a ring which are getting rotating about this axis. Their axis are where it is passing at the center of the ring perpendicular to the plane of the ring. At that moment, moment of inertia would be some value, and whenever I consider the axis of rotation like this, see this ring is getting rotating about this axis. At that moment, the moment of inertia value would be different, but the body is same. Whatever the ring I considered here, the same ring I have considered in the second case also. But why does the moment of inertia was changed me? Only due to the change of position of axis of rotation. In the first case, center of mass, through that center of mass of the ring, the axis is going on. But whereas in the second case, the axis of rotation where it is tangentially presented. Where it is tangentially presented. So by that moment of inertia has to be changed. So do remember, I value depending upon the position of axis of rotation, also depending upon distribution of mass. Okay, so this is a small theoretical description about moment of inertia and its standard equation. This is a very important equation. Whenever anybody asks you what is the definition of moment of inertia, you may define it as like this: the product of total mass of the body and square of radius of variation. Square of radius of variation. Like that also we can define moment of inertia. Okay, so this is the definition of moment of inertia. Now let's see some examples for moment of inertia. How do we calculate moment of inertia for different system of particles? Okay, let's see that. See, dear students, the moment of inertia for discrete particles of system, system of particles which are presented separately, we can write it as what? M1 R1 square plus M2 R2 square plus and so on Mn Rn square, right? That we can also write it as what? Summation I equal to 1 to n Mi Ri square, right? That is the moment of inertia for system of discrete particles. Discrete means separate particles. Okay. Now I am going to give you one example problem. See, there are two particles of mass m and l. Both are separated by distance of d. Then what is the moment of inertia about this axis passing through the center or bisector? Let us see here. This is the axis, so-called bisector of this line which are drawn by joining two particles. About this axis, whenever they are rotating, what is the moment of inertia? This is question 1. Okay, write down the question. How to solve this one? Very simple question. For this one, the first particle is at what distance here? D by 2. And the second particle is at what distance? Also at d by 2. Then the moment of inertia, how can we write it? First particle mass into distance square plus second particle mass into perpendicular distance square. So totally what we can get? 2m into d square by 4. That means m d square by 2. Okay? Write down. This is first example. That is the moment of inertia of these two particles when they are getting rotating about this axis. Okay? Second example. There are two particles of mass 2 kg and 1 kg separated by distance of 10 meters. They are separated by what distance? 10 meters. Then what is the moment of inertia about this axis passing through the center at an angle of 37 degrees? These two are getting rotating about this axis. This is the axis of rotation. These are rotating about this. There the symbol what I put it giving you meaning what? These particles are rotating about this. That means this is rotating like this and this is rotating like this. Okay. How to solve this one? See. Find the moment of inertia about this axis. How to solve that one? First of all, whenever you want to get the moment of inertia, we should get first the perpendicular distance of the particles from axis of rotation. See here, what is the perpendicular distance of the particles from axis of rotation? This is. Okay, and what is the perpendicular distance of this particle? This is. If it is 37, actually total distance is what here? 10 meters. Then it is what? 5 meters. And it is what? 5 meters. And I think you have good knowledge about the triangle of 37. For that one, what is the opposite side value? 3 meters. And it is what? 4 meters. And it is also 3 meters. And it is what? 4 meters. Then you are saying clearly, the first particle getting rotating at what distance? 3 meters in this manner. Also, this particle getting rotating like this. Okay, this is rotating like this and this is rotating like this. What is the moment of inertia of first particle here? I equal to first particle mass is 1 kg. What is the distance of that one? 3 square plus second particle mass is 2 and distance is 3 square. So totally 3 into 3 square, that is what? 27 kg meter square. This is the answer. Write down. That is the example of the problem. And the next particle, next example is here. So do remember from the moment of inertia what we can understand how so easily the bodies can rotate. Okay, how so easily the bodies in the rotational motion can stop. That easiness we can understand from this moment of inertia. Generally, the moment of inertia is small, we can rotate them easily. And if the moment of inertia is more, we can't rotate them easily. As we can't stop them when they are already in the rotational motion. Okay, that's the meaning of moment of inertia. Next example, see here. There is a triangle, equilateral triangle of side length 1 meter and the particles of masses are small particles 1 kg, 2 kg and 3 kg were placed here. I would like to get the moment of inertia about the different axes here. Simultaneously I am considering 3 axes here. One is above centroid, the axis is passing perpendicularly to the plane of the board like this. This is the first axis. Okay? And another axis I am considering here, which are passing through the corner at which 3 kg body was located. So at this corner, the another axis has to be considered, that is second axis, perpendicular to the plane of the board. The second axis is also perpendicular to the plane of the board. And third axis is like this. This is parallel to this line. It gets rotating like this. And it's getting rotating about this axis. Also, if it has rotated around this axis, what is the moment of this? Like that, totally 3 axes were considered here. What is the moment of inertia of this system of particles about these three axes? That is the question. See, first of all, moment of inertia about first axis. About first axis equal to. How to write it? Very simple. What is the distance of a vertex of the triangle from centroid? From the centroid, this centroid order I told you. The distance of that vertex is what? A by root 3. That means 1 by root 3 meters. Similarly, here also 1 by root 3. Here also 1 by root 3. I think you have that idea of distance of vertex from the centroid is side length by root 3. Side length is what here? 1 meter by root 3. So that's why I wrote directly. And how to write moment of inertia of first particle? From this axis, the first particle is at what distance? 1 by root 3 meters. First particle having the mass of 1 and 1 by root 3 whole square plus 2 into 1 by root 3 whole square plus 3 into 1 by root 3 whole square. And from that one we can take 1 by 3 common. 1 plus 2 plus 3 6. That is what here? 6 by 3. That means 2 kg meter square is the answer for moment of inertia about first axis. Okay, this is the first question over. Second question what? Moment of inertia about second axis. What I want to get here? Moment of inertia about second axis. Second axis where it was located? Here, passing through the vertex of a triangle at 3 kg. Okay, now about second axis, how much you can get it mean? This second axis is passing at this standard, that means 3 kg body located at that point only. By that the moment of inertia for 3 kg body is set to 0. Why? Because wherever the axis is there only 3 kg body here. By that the moment of inertia of 3 kg body what here? 0. And the remaining two bodies are only said to be having moment of inertia. What is the moment of inertia for 1 kg body? 1 into 1 square. For 2 kg body, 2 into 1 square plus 3 into 0 square. Why already I told you 3 kg body located at that corner only. So finally how much you get it? 3 kg meter square. And third one, what is the moment of inertia about third axis? What is that? Moment of inertia about third axis. This is the first axis. This second axis, this third axis. Third axis where it is? Here. It is parallel to the side. If you observe the diagram, these two particles are coincide with the axis. By the distances of the two particles are said to be 0. So that's why the moment of inertia of 1 kg and 2 kg are 0. So 1 into 0 square plus 2 into 0 square plus 3 into third 3 kg body is at what distance? This is the distance. What is the distance of that one? Root 3 by 2 into A. Already you know well. A means 1. So this is the distance between vertex and foot of perpendicular. What is the distance between vertex and foot of perpendicular? Root 3 by 2A. So by that 3 into root 3 by 2. A means 1 only. By that I am not writing that. So totally how much you can get it? 3 into 3 by 4. That means 9 by 4 kg meter square. Okay. This is the way of calculating the moment of inertia about different axes. That axis, how many are considered here? 3 axes. First one, second one, third one. Okay. Like that you may consider few more axes also, which are passing through 1 kg body and which are passing through the midpoint of 2 kg and 3 kg body also. Like that in different ways they will ask you the question. Let me show that model also. See, the next example. Here there is a square of side length A, and at the corners of that one I am placing totally 4 particles. All are identical one of mass m. Okay. Now I would like to get the moment of inertia about this diagonal. This is the first axis. About that I want to get the moment of inertia. And another one, this is the second axis what I am considering. Okay. What is the moment of inertia about that second axis? And what is the moment of inertia about this third axis? Third axis is here. Okay. Like the totally 3 axes were considered. First axis, second axis, third axis. Then you are seeing clearly, first axis nothing but diagonal. Second axis means side of the square. And third axis means perpendicular to the plane of the square or square plate or square lamina, what we consider. And fourth axis is this. So now the question is find I1, I2, I3, I4. That is the question. How to solve this one? Very simple. First of all, come to I1. First axis. Where is the first axis? This is. Okay. In this first axis, what is the distance of the axis? This particle and this particle 0. Why? Because 2 particles are on the axis. So for these 2 particles, moment of inertia should be 0. And the remaining 2 particles, this particle and this particle, are at what distance? See, this is the distance of this particle. How much means A by root 2, you know? What is the distance of that one? A by root 2. Then what is the moment of inertia of this particle? M into A by root 2 whole square plus M into A by root 2 whole square. So totally how much you can get? 2m a square by 2. That means m a square. Okay. That is the moment of inertia about first axis. That's all. Come to second axis. What is the moment of inertia about that second axis? Here. This is the second axis. Over that axis, which particles are lying? This particle and this particle. For both of them, what is the moment of inertia? 0. Do remember, the particles which are lying on the axis are said to be having 0 moment of inertia due to 0 distance of them from the axis. Okay. Remaining particles, whatever here, this and this only are said to be having moment of inertia with respect to this axis. Second axis. What is the distance of this particle from this axis? A. And this particle also is the distance of A. Then what is the moment of inertia of this one? M into A square plus M into A square. Totally 2m A square. Next, where axis comes from? Third. Third axis where it is? This is. That is passing perpendicularly to the plane of the square. And around that these 3 particles are rotating like this. Okay. Why they are getting rotating like that? Here, as I told earlier, which particle is passing through the axis? This particle only. But remaining 3 particles do not passing through the axis. By that here, this particle, this one and this one. 3 particles are said to be having moment of inertia. What is the moment of inertia of these 3 particles? First to come to this particle. What is the distance? A. So by that moment of inertia of this particle is m into distance square, that is A square, plus what is the moment of inertia of this particle? Mass into distance square, that is A square, plus mass into what is this distance? This is totally root 2a. You know well. If it is A according to Pythagoras theorem, this is root 2a. So totally moment of inertia what m into root 2a whole square. So finally how much we get? ma square plus ma square plus 2ma square. So finally we are getting the answer 4ma square. That is the moment of inertia about this third axis. Now if you come to fourth axis is very easy. At the center of the square, passing perpendicularly to the plane of the board. So I4 we can write it as, if you observe the diagram, at the axis position no particle is there. First one, second one, third one, fourth one. Four particles are at different distances from axis. By that there four particles are said to be having moment of inertia, and that too all are said to be having same moment of inertia due to same mass and same distance. So for that reason I am writing first moment of inertia of one particle. What is this? This is for example m into what is the distance value? A by root 2 whole square. Like that how many particles we have? 4. So 4m into a by root 2 whole square, that means 4m a square by 2. That means 2m a square is the answer. Okay? Like that we can calculate the moment of inertia about different axes. Wherever the axis is provided, we can find the moment of inertia here. Okay? Please enter it. Here. See, dear students, in the next example, I am considering two particles of mass m1 and m2, separated by distance of d. Now, I would like to get moment of inertia of the system of particles about an axis passing through the center of mass of these two particles. Okay, for understanding question, find moment of inertia about an axis passing through center of mass. Okay, passing through center of mass. That is the question. How to solve this? See here, whenever we have two particles of masses m1 and m2 here at a distance of d, I want to get the center of mass distance from m1. You know well, whenever we want to get the center of mass distance from m1, how to do this means simply by using formula of HCM. That is what? m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m. But here I want to get the distance of center of mass from m1 particle. By that here I am considering the origin. If you let this one as y axis and this as origin and this as x axis. See here, what is the distance of first particle from the origin? 0. By that m1 into 0 plus m2 into what is the distance of the second particle from the origin? D. So m2 d by m1 plus m. So totally how much you can get? m2 d by m1 plus m. That is the distance of center of mass. For example, if you write this one as center of mass here, this is called distance of center of mass. So called if you write as d1. This is a d1 value. d1 value how much you got it? m2 d by m1 plus m. Same like that, the distance of center of mass from second particle is a d2. That if you write it as a d2. How to write it? d2 equal to, for getting center of mass distance from second particle, this origin has to be shifted to m2. At that moment x2 value is 0, but x1 value is minus b. This one value what here? Minus d. So m1 into minus d plus m2 into 0 by m1 plus m2. That means minus m1 d by m1 plus m. That means minus denotes what here? If you let this as an origin, if you consider this m2 position as origin, minus means the center of mass is on negative x side, negative x-axis side. So that is the meaning given by this minus. But no need to substitute this one in the substitution of moment of inertia. Anyhow, d1 value and d2 value I have obtained. What are obtained here? d1 value, d2 value. Now I am considering an axis passing through the center of mass. Around this, two particles are getting rotating like this. Then what is the moment of inertia of first particle? m1 d1 square plus m2 d2 square. So by that, the moment of inertia of the system of two particles, how much means I equal to m1 d1 square plus m2 d2 square. m1 into what is the d1 value? m2 d by m1 plus m. Plus m2 into m1 d by m1 plus m2 whole square. Now, what do you take common here? m1 m2 we can take common here. Here m2 is there, m1 is there. Here m2 is there, m1 is there. D square also there. So by that we can take common what here mean? m1 m2 d square we can take common. Also we can take m1 plus m2 whole square as common. Then what is remained in the brackets? Here m2 remained and here m1 remained. By that m2 plus m1 only remained here. Such that m1 plus m2 gets cancelled. What remains here means m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into d square. Okay. And one more thing. Do you have an idea about its name? This particular quantity is having a name that is called reduced mass. What we call it a reduced mass. That's denoted into mu into d square. So I value is what here? Mu into d square. Where mu value what means m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 named as reduced mass. Clearly there is a meaning in that heading. Reduced. That means two particles mass has reduced as single particle mass. That particle mass is what here? m1 d by m1 plus m. Okay. So this is the moment of inertia of this system of particles about an axis passing through center of mass. Okay. So this is a good example. Note down this one. Next example. Okay, now see another example. Same related to earlier concept. Here 2 kg body is there, here 3 kg body is there, and distance between them is 8 meters. Find the moment of inertia about an axis passing through center of mass. Passing through center of mass. Already we solved this kind of problem and I gave you equation also for this. What is the moment of inertia about this axis passing through center of mass? Formula I equal to mu into d square. Mu value what here? m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into d square. What is the m1 value? 2. m2 value 3 by 5 into 8 square. That is 6 by 5 into 48. Okay, that means how much? 28 to 8 square. Okay, so this is the moment of inertia of these particles about an axis passing through center of mass. Okay, that already known well. This formula already well known to you. That's why I gave you small example over. And another example, let's take here. Okay, in the next example, I am considering a cube. Of side length A. Okay, and at the vertices of that one, the corners of that 8 particles of equal mass are placed like this. And I would like to get the moment of inertia about different axes here. Okay, first of all, I want to get the moment of inertia about this axis. Then you are saying that the axis is passing through the diagonal of the base. So around this, whenever this system of particles are rotating, what is the moment of inertia? Okay. Similarly, what is the moment of inertia whenever these particles are getting rotating about this axis? This is first axis, this is second axis. Okay. And also I want to get the moment of inertia about this third axis, which are passing at the center of the cube. Okay. This is third axis. So like that totally, what is the moment of inertia about first axis, second axis, third axis? About first axis, second axis and third axis. This is the question. So find I1, I2 and I3. This is the question mark. See the solution. Whenever you come to first axis, tell me how many particles are lying on the axis? These two particles. This and this. Right? By that, what is the moment of inertia for them? 0. And the remaining, how many are there? 6 are there. In them, especially, this particle and this particle are at what distance? A and A. By that, for these two, the moment of inertia value, 2 particles are there. So 2m into distance of that part A square plus. Similarly, what is the distance of this particle from here? This is how much? A by root 2. As well as this also at A by root 2. So for these two particles, what is the moment of inertia? 2m into A by root 2 whole square plus. What is the moment of inertia about remaining two particles? This particle and this particle. These are only remaining. What is the distance of the difference from the axis? This is. Okay, and what is the distance of this particle? This is. If it is A by root 2 and it is A, what is this value? According to Pythagoras theorem, if it is A by root 2 and if it is A, what is this value? Root over A square plus A square by 2. Root of 3 by 2 A square. That means root of 3 by 2 E. Okay, so this is the distance of this particle and this particle from this axis. By that, the total moment of inertia of two particles is 2m into root of 3 by 2a whole square. Okay, so now what the total answer you are getting? 2m a square plus 2m a square by 2 plus 2m into 3 by 2 a square. Right? What are total cancel here? 2 2 square, 3a square plus 3a square, totally 6a square is the answer, MA square. Okay, that is the moment of inertia about the first axis. About first axis. Similarly, there are two more axes there. One is this, another one is this, third axis. Also about them we want to get the moment of inertia now. That means I2 and I3 also we want to get now. How should we get it? See here. And do remember the examples what I gave till now are simply related to what? This equation. This is nothing but moment of inertia of system of particles which are discretely present or which are separately present. Okay. For that formula, these are all the examples. And next to this we have moment of inertia for continuous distributive mass bodies. That we will see tomorrow. Okay. And I am giving you this I2 and I3 as a homework for you. Okay. This one I am going to stop this session. So for you today's homework is what we find out I2 and I3 values. Okay. This is the homework for you today. I hope that you understood well about moment of inertia of this system of particles. Okay, dear students, this much this session is over. Tomorrow we will discuss another topic, that is moment of inertia of continuous distributive mass body. Okay, thank you so much.